into play, shadows come to dance. In the golden light of day, warriors take their stance. Like the fires burn so high, Sno Dub's call. In the morning watch the sky, hear the legends fall. Valhalla's gates swing open wide for the brave and true. In Loki's wilds we confide, destiny pursued. Like the fires burn so high, Sno Dub's call. In the morning watch the sky, hear the legends fall. Our calling now, lights are dim, don't know how. Taco Tuesday, crunch and chow, laughing loud, take a bow. Lane survives, the night's alive, YouTube talk, we all dive. Scrolling through, we high five, knowledge share, we all thrive. Thirsty Thursday, cheers to you, sipping drinks, the sky is blue. Weekend reviews, what we do, living life, it's all brand new. Working hard, time flies by, weekend glories for the sky. Friends around, we don't lie, memories made, say goodbye. Counting down, days of you, living fast, this week's view. Moments small, but they grew, in our hearts feel the truth. Be true.
Yeah.
What is up? I cut it off early, but holy shit, dude. I love that song. I was like, oh my God, dude. That came out perfect. I did like a bagpipe Viking metal mix. I was like, holy shit, that sounds great. Do.
I dig it.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Late Show here on Loki's Mornings of Mischief with Sno Dub, Punk Waddle, Dave Bob. We've got probably more people coming in. Makani, if you're out there, I just sent you a link, buddy. So check your DMs and your messages and your dealy boppers, because they're probably in there somewhere if you were wanting to get on here tonight. So hell yeah, but I love doing that. Hold on one second.
So I want to come in hot tonight, if that's all right.
Yeah.
There's been a monumental occasion this week, and I've been dying to talk about it. I kind of mentioned it in the chat already to old Brandon, the anime guy.
You've got a link, Brandon. So if you want in, jump in. Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, son.
No, you're fine. So I've took the kid, the Sno kid, who's 14 years old, mind you, right? So please don't judge. But I took him to see the 30th anniversary of Ninja Scroll on the big screen. And if you're an anime fan, you'll know that's one of the,
that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's right. It might be my favorite too. It's one of the best. And as far as
for 40 pieces of gold, you may.
And I personally got to experience, so it was great. They asked the director a few cool questions before the movie, and you got to see a little, kind of backstory on it. And then movie kicks in, and for the first time, because I'm just so novice when it comes to anime. I mean, I know a few things, but not much. So for the first time, I actually watched it in Japanese with the subtitles.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that was like, it was kind of like watching it all over again, because you could tell the way the Japanese write their language, into the movie, it's completely different than the American style. And so the American one, the English or whatever, they added stuff, added a lot more context stuff, like you'd be confused if you didn't know what was going on, type of thing. And it was crazy. So it was like watching it all over again. Sno Kid, if you know the movie, there's a certain scene that happens in the beginning with the very first demon that gets encountered, and it's pretty taboo, and we'll just say the Snow Kid looked at me. He says, "Dad, you were once sick, puppy." You know. And I looked at him. And I was like, I knew this. You know, I knew this part of the movie would shock him, but after that, he got into it. You know, and I think he thoroughly enjoyed it. He was talking to his friends about it at school. You know, so made a hell of an impression on him. But that was about the age that I first saw it. So it's a great movie if you've never checked it out. But anyway, there was my one trip to the movies this week.
Nice.
I didn't go see
Nice.
Beetlejuice.
I don't know why, Brandon. It didn't. I don't know why I didn't send it to you. I sent it to Brandon, the anime guy. I guess maybe this is the wrong Brandon, the anime guy. Anime.
He's talking it up in the chat here. I'll see if I can send it to him.
Maybe. Well, I sent it to him. I sent it to.
Okay.
I sent it to the one he sent it to me because it's like the anime guy. But then I see Brandon, the anime guy, and that's the one I looked up. Anime fan, gaming fan, sci-fi escape his official account of Anime Guy Entertainment on YouTube and Rumble. YouTube, Brandon, the anime guy. Rumble, Brandon, the anime guy.
It's
I guess I sent it to the wrong
At the
one.
Anime Guy 80 is his.
I guess there's another you out there.
Might be
Yes,
his old account.
indeed.
Oh,
Are you serious?
I have two because one got
Okay.
bitch slapped about let's see, about 2 years ago and was down for about a year before the Let That Sink In came and reversed it. But yeah, I do
Okay.
have two, and I don't look at the other one too often.
Okay.
But thank you so very much. And Snow, yes, we are severely messed up for seeing that movie at the age we saw it. But it is so good. Shellback!
Shelly!
Shellback.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Greetings
But
to you.
Salutations.
what you were saying about like the difference between so any like hardcore Japanimation, old school like us. The first time I saw what was it? It was Batman Ninja, right? You see Batman Ninja in the American version, right, with English, and the Joker's like, hee, I'm gonna do this and blah 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 blah. The Japanese version, that son of a bitch is like, "Batomano," and you're like, what in the shit? These are two totally different characters. You've got the American version that's like, hee, I'm gonna do this to Batman. And then the Japanese character, he's like, "Hototomo, topo, batomana." And you're like, damn. Sorry if I'm loud. I just can't help it when I go into Japanese mode because holy crap, man. It's a different experience. Especially when they use some wimpy guy's voice that's like, I'm gonna do this and this to you. And then you see the Japanese version, and that some bitch is like, Hototomo! And you're like, man, it gives a totally different flavor to the character.
It does. The Japanese, it's really, back then, most of the English dubbing studios were either Canadian or Streamline Pictures. But the dubs back then, even though some of the dubs were pretty terrible, they're not like how they are today terrible. They would add things for in English for extra context for us, stuff that we would get, whereas they wouldn't. But yes, listening to these movies that we originally saw dubbed in the original Japanese is a completely different animal. Fist of the North Star is it's a completely different film
Yes.
because of how the dubbing went with it. Way different.
Really
gotta
quick,
watch
let
that
me
one
let me thank a couple of people real quick. Psychodorf9 sent in a $10 super chat before the show even started. It says, while it appears to take 200 days to approve disability, it only takes 30 to deny it. I hope that means, dude, that they didn't deny it. That is insanity, dude. Therefore, I'm gonna go with your suggestion to tell tales in this space. More later. If you do, brother, all the best of luck to you. We will do our best to help and promote. God help you, dude. This place is insanity.
Psychodorf 9, my mom fought for her disability for, I swear, it was like 3 or 4 years before she finally got it. And she had to go through a lot of hoops, make a lot of phone calls. It was insane. So yeah, just stick with it, brother. I know you can appeal and all that stuff, or however it works.
Yeah, there's all kinds of people in the, well, not all kinds, but there's people in the VA, the Veterans Administration, medical, that their whole job is to disprove that you need any type of medical disability rating from the VA. I don't know if that's who he's talking about, but yeah.
Dave Bob, what were you going to say?
I just said, in a lot of cases, if you can get your congressman involved, that can help.
Absolutely. And thank you, Cygadorp 9. Scott Westbrook gifted 5 Loki's Mornings and Mischief memberships. I'm trying to look at, I'm like scrolling. Asaj Melody got a membership. Victor Fontaine got a membership. Tim Hayes got a membership. Peter Brophy got a membership. And Death Scythe got a membership. Thank you so very much. Scott Westbrook, brother, kicking down doors, taking names, kicking ass. Psychodorf 9 and Scott Westbrook. This skull is for you, gentlemen. You won't see that on a Godzilla movie. I dare you to find that.
Is that a new one? I don't remember that one. No?
Nope. That is something that a buddy of mine made. He made that.
That's cool.
So
that is cool.
The producer, or not the producer, the director of Ninja Scroll, he had an interview in the beginning of it. And one of the things that really stuck out to me, I thought was great, and you all will agree, is he watched a lot of American films. And he was talking about how there's so many that are his inspiration. And the one that stuck out to me was, he said the perfect action movie that he's ever seen is Die Hard.
Yes.
I thought that was really interesting. So, yeah.
Putin's Cat, I cannot watch the Drunken Master 2 is what it's called in Japan. It's called Legend of Drunken Master in the US. I cannot watch the Japanese version of that movie because it is not like, because I mean, in the English one, Jackie's like, wheelbarrow, monkey drinks the wine. And all this crazy shit he does in that movie is like, it's not there the same way in the Japanese version.
I concur.
So,
yeah, I know you've talked about that before off and on, and there's that one version that's hard to find, which I think is the very first version I saw with all the little like back shit talking and
yes.
and like, and it's just you can't take anything seriously, and it's the funniest, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And now I'm sad that I may never see it in that iteration again. But
I've got a copy. I've got a digital copy. If you want a digital copy of it, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So that you can see it in the original, because it's hilarious. Especially at the end when he's like, he's drinking like the pure grain alcohol, and you're like, oh my God, he's like, oh, and then like fireball comes out of his mouth, and he's like, good stuff. You're like, oh my God, Jackie, you're gonna die. Do you understand this? You're gonna die of alcohol poisoning.
It's the essence of Jackie Chan and his absurdity before he got so Americanized, and it's perfect.
Oh man, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love that movie. Holy crap. Oh.
Well, it was a great experience, and especially hearing that other language and hearing how it was originally made. Now I gotta go watch my Fist of the North Star and with the original language, because I was always, I always just click the old American audio. I'm just like, oh, put it on English so I know what the hell they're saying. I ain't got time to read, right? But
40 pieces of gold, Jubei?
Well, I know that movie so well. I've watched Ninja Scroll, I mean, with easily, 30, 40 times probably in my life.
Yeah.
So it's one of those movies. And so I kind of know everything that's going to be said before it's said. So it was easier to listen to the actual, voice actors from Japan, and it's a great experience on the big screen. The only sad part was, I guess it was made in the original, TV box format. Like, was it 4:13 or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, 4:3.
If you can catch the widescreen, I've got the widescreen version of it.
Oh, yeah. I wish they would have showed that because they didn't. It was the full screen or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird because I've got the widescreen on DVD. I mean, it's a DVD. It's not a Blu-ray. It's not a 4K.
Maybe they
it's
chopped
a
it
DVD.
down. They might chop
They've
it
never been they haven't remastered the widescreen version, but it's always been the 4:3 and the Blu-ray and all that.
Really? That is so weird. You would expect they would have done the widescreen.
Yeah.
And what's up, Tony, Mr. Stark?
Ahoy, folks! How y'all doing tonight?
Oh God, he's got his mask on. What happened? Let me ask you something. What happens when
I
you
got the
fart in
helmet
that
on?
thing?
Hold on. I'll take it off. Give me a second.
What happens when you fart in that thing?
Well, let's just say I haven't installed proper air for it yet.
filtration. Yeah. Change
There
the
we go.
filter.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Good.
There you go.
I invited
Yeah,
back,
it
but
could
I
be
don't know
worse.
what's
I
up
could
with
have came
mine.
in wearing the helmet going, "Go Commando!"
Go Commando. I'm never gonna live that down. I swear. It's like the everybody knows, and he knows too, because somebody went and tattled. As soon as,
No,
I
you
didn't
told
say
me this
that.
story. You told me
Oh,
this story.
God. I did, but the first time I told it, someone went and tattled like I was saying something wrong, and he just laughed about it and messaged me. Saying, someone, can you believe someone came and told on you? I was like, yeah, I can believe it. Well, we were talking
What's
about
wrong with going commando?
well, we were talking about Doomcock and how before I ever did any live streams or any morning show or anything like that, I was a part of Xanadu and all that, and the table meetings and all that fun stuff. And I said, you know what, D, I think I'm gonna do this. I really like live stream with you the other day. I think I'm gonna do a morning show. What would you, if I do live streams, what would you suggest? What's the best piece of advice you can give me? He said, Loki, go commando. That's what I do. And I was like, okay.
You gotta shake your fists vehemently and do drastic poses as you say, "Go Commando!"
Go commando. Oh my God.
I mean, I never really got into Doomcock that much, but
Well, he never goes on camera. So
I can agree with his philosophy there.
That's the thing. No one wants to see you with sock over it.
He's already got a
Oh, damn.
They are
What's
here,
that
they're
supposed to
here
mean?
for Rudolph. They're here for
Look,
Rudolph, man.
He's
They're-
attacking your
Hey.
cotton shellback.
Right. Well, that and insulting the Red Hot Chili Peppers at the same time.
Well, that's true.
All right.
Oh God,
Speaking
what
of-
is this? Don't get us flagged.
You'll be okay.
This
You'll
is some
be
ninja
okay.
scroll. Like, no, that's Fist of the North Star.
It's Fist
Don't
of
worry,
the North Star.
Brandon
is
is
Japanese.
a professional.
Yeah, Japanese here.
お前はもう死んでいる。
The you.
何何大は匠でギゼブ
Yeah, that's the TV show.
It's the classic.
Oh yeah.
When Kenshiro did that to Perfect Cell, I never let him live it down.
That
really
big guy did remind me of one of the I think it is Ninja Scroll, because like there's this and I don't know, it's like one of the anime scenes I don't think I'll ever forget, because it's like this dude was huge, right? And he graped this
Was
young
that the
lady.
dude with the stone skin?
Yeah, well, like after
Yeah.
he had his way with her, like
It's one of the eight
He's-
devils of Kimon.
he literally fell apart. Like
Yep.
Yeah. It's because she poisoned his ass. Well, he
Yeah.
poisoned himself, really. He
that
tasted
was
the
Ninja
taste
Scroll,
tester.
right?
Yep.
That was Ninja
he,
Scroll?
He
Okay,
tasted
yeah.
the taste tester and he paid the price.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The moral of the story: Careful where you stick it.
Don't taste the taste tester.
Yeah.
Correct.
There's a reason why she tastes for all the poisons and stuff like that, because it doesn't hurt her. Because whatever she's got is 10 times worse than whatever they're putting in the Kool-Aid over in Japan.
It's a great story. I mean, they all got their, special moves, and they got even she does, where she's like can control bees and stuff with like this special something that knocks them out, like some kind of knockout gas. But they're all different and weird, and that's
the
what
snake chick. That's what screwed me up, was the snake chick. That's when I was like,
keeps you engaged.
I do apologize for being late. I had to help save the universe. The squid was throwing his hissy fit again.
Mexican Iron Man took the night off.
Did you ever notice that the snake that bites him is the most poisonous snake, and guess where it came from?
Yeah. But it bites the poison chick, so it doesn't hurt her. So it's kind of cool.
Now she's immune.
That is the deadliest snake, because it comes out of boat.
Right.
It came out of the cave.
Funny how
it had himself a very private dwelling, sir.
Exactly.
God. Oh shit. But dude, that's great that you got to go and see that with your boy. And the fact that he's like, Dad, you're 1/6 son bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
I saw this when I was your age, son. So,
well, you gotta expose them to it eventually, and when it's stuff like that, it's like, well, I might as well be there for it, because he's gonna run across it with a friend, or see something online. These kids, they find ways, just like we did when we were that age.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just rented them. Okay, here's the deal. Like, you had Hollywood Video, right? And Hollywood Video is closer to than Blockbuster. When we got a Blockbuster that was like parallel to Hollywood, we started going to Blockbuster. But Hollywood Video, I mean, just had lines and lines of movies. And I was in the animation section, and I'm like, and I found this Japanese anime, and God help me, Brandon, if you know the name of this, I'll like, you're the greatest anime detective ever. It's about this dude that would go into dungeons and save these chicks and take photos of them. So he'd go into these dungeons and take pictures of these chicks, and that was like his reward, was he got to take pictures of these chicks in different positions. Anyway, so I start figuring out what's worth watching, because I could get a whole stack of these. I'm like 12 years old, so I'd get a whole stack of these, and he'd be like, "Oh, cartoon." He didn't realize that, like, yeah, this is not Voltron, Dad. It might look like Voltron, but it's not Voltron. And at some point in my teenage years, I ran across Ninja Scroll, and I remember putting it on, and my buddy Chris was like, "Dude, this is stupid," because it was the beginning of the movie where he fights the guy who's like, 40 pieces of gold, Jubei. And I was like, just wait. And when it got to the point where the ninjas were jumping through the trees and shit, he was like, "This is the coolest shit I've ever seen." And I was like, I told you this is the shit. And we watched Akira, we watched Ninja Scroll, we watched, everything from the 80s and the 90s. We just binge watched that shit. So I loved the manga, the manga opening, the manga movies, all the manga shit.
I think I got it. Photographer, also known as Photographer, The Dark Side of the Lens. Lesser known OVA from the 80s, where the protagonist, a photographer, rescues women from dangerous situations and then takes pictures of them.
Holy shit.
That just sounds like Leisure Suit Larry.
Tell me it's on Crunchyroll.
Unlikely. Highly unlikely.
Like, hey, you, come here. I want to rescue you. First, I'm going to need a few photographs.
Austin Powers did that too.
Come over here. Got a little segment.
Working on it. Working on it.
It's
Holy
so
crap.
obscure. It's not even on any list.
Dean, good evening,
Wow.
Gum Bunny, Doc Poet. I knew it was because I've never found it again. I found that one, and it was only a couple episodes. I didn't even get to watch the whole thing. It was just one tape, and only they had it. And Blockbuster didn't have a good anime section on VHS, so they just didn't have the space until they got DVDs. Dak Poet, what's up? Marcus Felix, Asaj Melody, Putin's cat says, have you been to Japan? Yes, I was in Japan when I was 16. So crowded, very crowded. Very, very crowded, but fun. They've got arcades like everywhere. All kinds of cool shit. At least they
Won't be
did
that way in 30 years, and that's a sad thing.
That was 30 years ago. So very crowded, but a lot of cool stuff. A lot of really cool stuff. So how did you get to Japan when you were 16? My mother had her own business, and she sold out to a company called World of Miniatures. And they were based in Japan. So
cool.
I got to go with her when she finalized the deal and sold it.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of fun and Fathom events, just looking over what they've got coming up, 15 years for Coraline, 50 years for Blazing Saddles, 25 years for The Matrix, 20 years for Howl's Moving Castle, 20 years for Mean Girls, if that's what you're into, 35 years for Back to the Future Part 2, 35 years for Kiki's Delivery Service. What else?
Has anyone realized that if they remade Back to the Future and it came out next year, what year they would be going back to?
1985.
1995.
95. Oh, damn.
Boy.
They'd be going back to 1995.
Jesus Christ, Doc. What happened in the 90s?
I don't know, Marty, but we need to go back to him.
Marty, you've got to come back with me.
Doc, we can't find parts for DeLorean in 1995.
But there's one person that can help us, Marty. It's a person with a phone booth. It's got a big blue light on top of it and all the doohickeys. Great, real great.
Whoa. There's this strange DeLorean at the Circle K.
What number am I thinking of?
Are you thinking
69, dude?
69, dude.
What? Jay and Silent Bob, Clerks Part 3?
I could just see Jay going, huge old man car. All right.
I know. Back when that guy was fun, right?
So crates.
So great. That's right. So great.
So great.
Philosophize already.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan, dude. That's like totally Genghis Khan.
To each other.
And this is like totally Billy the Kid. Dude, my dad hated them. He absolutely freaking hated them. He hated that movie. He hated the fact that Keanu got famous. And it wasn't until we sat down and we watched, what's that movie Keanu did?
Point Break?
No, he
Speed.
hated Point Break too.
John
no,
Wick?
he hated Speed. John Wick. Okay, it wasn't until we sat down and watched John Wick that he's like, okay, I'll change my mind about him. And I'm like, okay, thank you. With the fucking pencil.
Like, perfect. You know what? This gets a pass.
I actually doubted him, when I heard he was cast for the Matrix.
Mac.
And when I watched that first Matrix movie, I was just like, okay, this guy might actually have something, And when you see it behind the scenes, he actually worked his ass off for the Matrix, and he progressively gets better at martial arts through the 3 movies. That's the only good part about Part 3 in that trilogy, and we don't talk about the next one after that. But part 3, I know it was kind of bad, but his martial arts were on point by that point. You know, he had studied for so long.
Machini, you all right, bro?
Just tired, man.
Okay, God, I was like, dude, he looks like he's like pissed.
I
I'm
was
just
about,
tired
to,
as
say, I
fuck,
was about
man.
to say the way he came in and the awkward silence that he brought with him, it was like it's almost as if the entire world's panties had dropped and then there was suddenly silence.
Oh no!
Time to wake up, man, Keeney.
Okay, I won't. He turned off his camera. He turned off his camera. Okay, Ma, can you turn your camera back on?
I'm not turning. If you play that, I'm not turning my camera back.
I won't play it. I promise.
I call bullshit. I
promise.
Okay,
I
you sure? I see your hands right now. Okay.
I promise.
I see
Yeah, I've always.
His hands free. His hands free.
Yes, I'm looking like I'm about to fall asleep with my damn keyboard. Yes, buddy. Yes.
Talk about an anime though. I can just imagine like this anime chick being like,
no,
and then throwing like a pair of panties at him. Yeah.
I forget
As
what
you
show.
know, Shellback, it happens.
I forget what show.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
called
on,
harems.
But it got brought up. You know, people now know. It's like spreading through the internet that Machini is the ultimate ladies' man, and that all he has to do is walk in a room, and it's like they just drop. If a girl is wearing a dress, beware. Oh man, we teach you because we love you.
Sorry to burst your bubble, Akimi.
This is ladies just have to keep our panties on tonight.
Today was a day of firsts for me.
How dare
I had my first member live stream today. Am I a
Very
YouTuber
nice.
now?
Yes.
Not yet.
I got to climb out a few windows first, right?
Well, you got to get burned at the stake first, and then you can. Yeah, once you get burned at the stake for the first time, then you're.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I've been shot out of a cannon. Does that work?
Burn the witch.
I've been
passing it to the fire.
Destroy him.
Burn it. Destroy him.
The sealed door.
It's been a long Stark week, so I'm kind of like, Makini here, kind of tired. I still got an after party show after the Frolics later on tonight. My goal was 1,100 subs, but I got to 1067, so I'm not complaining.
Good deal.
Very nice.
Been making videos?
Occasional review every now and then, but it's been live shows all week.
That is a tough room to grow in, is the live stream room.
Well, it's that's why Stark Week happens only once every 3 or 4 months. I don't do it every day, every week. But I do feel the fatigue.
Well, Magni, I'm glad you're just tired and it's not nothing serious, because dude, you had me worried. I was like, he looks upset, or he looks hurt, or something has happened. Holy shit.
This part of coming up is looking pissed off.
Did you go in a room and a girl was like, my panties ain't dropping, I'm a lesbian?
If only that was the case.
Yeah.
If only.
Well, it's like this. You take the good,
I eat
you
kitten,
take the
not
bad.
Snickers.
There you have the facts of life.
There you go.
Speaking of which, Snow, my friend from Area 51 arrived today. We have work to do with Paro.
Area 51.
Wait,
Snow.
What happened?
My friend from Area 51 came in today.
Oh,
have
yes.
work to do with El Paro for
Right.
maximum lulls.
Of course. Well, just DM me. We'll figure out where that should premiere at.
I've been working on my Paul Fusco. That's the only other hint I'll draw.
I'm sure it'll be great.
Speaking of the panties dropping, Brooke here is famous for asking and never giving up on asking. And of course, he can open up his head. I have been going down the One Piece rabbit hole, and I'm 400 episodes in of about 1,130. And holy shit, it is glorious.
But I am Iron Man, Putin's cat. I own Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
Read your comics.
We'll go around the panel real quick. We never do this. We never go around the panel and actually like discuss something. But now that my mind's on anime, I've got to ask.
Yeah.
Favorite anime. We already talked about Ninja Scroll, so just hold off on the Ninja Scroll. Favorite anime movie, manga, Japanimation, whatever you want to call it, besides Ninja Scroll.
Going around the panel,
First.
we would start with Punk Waddle, or
Yeah, Punk, what's up?
Okay, so I don't know which Gundam series to go with.
Just say all of them and call it good.
You can just say all of them. Anything with Char in it, I'm good.
Yeah, I would say anything up to about 2000s ish. I mean, Double O was pretty good, but anything after that, they're fun. But no,
Did you not like Iron Blooded Orphans?
Yes. Actually, I forgot about Iron Blooded Orphans. I forgot that was after that. No, I'm just thinking. I'm not counting all the meta stuff with the build fighters, which are fun for building the model community. But yeah, actually, Iron Blooded Orphans is the first scene is probably one of my favorites. Just how brute and just clunky and tanking that Barbatos is.
Yes. And Mika,
Clunky.
dude. Mika is
yeah.
so freaking badass.
He's just so straightforward in their kind of relationship, and a bunch of kids, being utilized that way. And then the second season, they kind of get in that kind of Cold War thing where the adults are using them for the first half, and it gets kind of weird. But then it picks up, and there's a payoff. But that first season is just balls to the wall.
Well, it's
when
okay
he
if it's
kisses-
clunky, but not McClunky. Okay.
When he
You don't
kisses
want
what's her name and she gets all freaking awkward after that, I was like,
Yeah.
Mika, because when he did that, I was like, Mika, my boy. I was so legit. I was like, it's always the quiet ones.
Oh yeah. He knew what he wanted.
Shit. He knew what he wanted. That's right. He's like, And I mean, if he had had a piece of gum, he'd have been like, kiss. And just gone back to doing what he was doing. And she'd have been freaking out. And he'd have been like, oh, it was good. But the way he just straight up take a fool out too. He'd take a guy out and just be like, you went against the wrong people. That's it. He didn't give no shits.
I don't want to go there because I don't want to bring value to some of the stupid stuff going on, but he's very focused. He's got probably some stunted development just because of the traumas that he's gone through, but he's just so freaking focused, and he's just the arm. He brings the grunt to I'm blanking on the leader's name.
Orca,
yeah. Those two, like, they have this pact, and it's like they're ride or die. They just understand each other. It just always clicks. There's no doubt. There's no question. Like, they even talk about it in the show, just how, yeah, Mika's just his man. And he understands that, so he doesn't abuse that either. So, yeah. Oh, now I want to go watch it.
I know. And Biscuit, dude. Oh my God. I loved Biscuit. I loved Biscuit. What happened to Biscuit was totally screwed up.
May I go next? Because I do need to go here and just
go ahead.
So,
Go
all
ahead.
right. I'm going to cheat just a little bit, and I'm breaking it up into 3 categories: TV series, movie, singular movie, and OVA. So,
that's
TV
not
series.
cheating. That's just you being you.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. TV series, One Piece. I'm about 35% through it. It's so good, and it just keeps getting better. Singular standalone movie that should have had a TV series, Akira. Akira, you got to read the manga to get everything, because trying to truncate that down to a 2-hour movie just doesn't do it justice. Akira is holy shit good. OVA series, Hellsing Ultimate, that's not even close. And probably the biggest what the fuck. I've got one somewhere, but
XL Saga.
Which one?
We'll just go with XL Saga. That's pretty
Sure.
what the fuck.
Yeah. Either that or Legend of the Overfiend. That one's pretty what the hell, what the fuck is there? But the one that I'm most looking forward to that's replacing or that's coming up as probably the premier shonen-esque type of anime, since we've had a bunch of them that are ending or close to ending, like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, a whole bunch, My Hero Academia, they're all done. The one that I would suggest to watch that is really good is Shangri-La Frontier. We get the second season of it starting here in about a month, about 30 days from now, and that is fantastic. Other than One Piece, it's probably going to be the single highest rated returning show currently. And the one that I really want that was announced, but it got withdrawn, but it should have another one because it's supplanted. It beat out Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for top spot as the best anime of all time, as voted by the people, is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. We should be getting a second season of that, hopefully within the next year. So good. All of it's so good. Spy Family's awesome. Spy Family is fantastic.
Anything animated, Putin's cat. Anything animated.
Oh yeah.
If you can ever convince her to do it, get Eris to show you the scroll. It's like a cloth. It's like a big cloth scroll poster. So you know how it's got the wooden deals on the top and the bottom, but it's like a cloth poster. She's got one of those for Van Helsing Ultimate. It's got the signatures of all the English voice cast and Japanese cast on it.
Very nice.
All the voice cast from the dub and the sub.
That would be an excellent one to have. The Hellsing Ultimate is really good. Plus, if you love the manga, they are doing a new release of it, I believe, in both paperback and hardback, besides the 3 omnibus hardbacks that are out there for it. And I have to cheat just a little more. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, Live It, Love It, Learn It, and the Apothecary Diaries. Live It, Love It, Learn It.
Gumbuddy says Digimon, Digital Monsters. The only reason I know that is that my kid liked that back in the day.
We love Digimon. Digimon is better than
Digital
Pokemon.
Monsters.
I said it.
So yeah, there's your recommendations.
Hail to Theta Zorda. He's currently on X. Yeah. Now you know
Do
where
I
I
have
sneak.
X pulled up?
Now you know where I sneak off to after I beat Harvey senseless. I hang out with these guys for a couple hours. Oops.
Badass Grandma reposted us too. I don't think I've ever talked to Badass Grandma. Is Badass Grandma?
That's Suzanne in the chat. She moderates just about everybody, man.
What is up, Suzanne?
Super mod.
Gentlemen, it was good to be here. Good to see you. Thank you.
Good to
both.
have you,
I
brother.
appreciate it.
Good to see
Thank
you.
you for
Brandon.
being
It's
here.
been a hot
Brandon.
minute.
Hell, Brandon.
Yeah, it has been a hot minute. And just for tomorrow I've got a special edition of the 101 and a special start time. We're not going until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, 12 p.m. for you West Coast people. And I've got Cali 2 Shorts, a.k.a. Kada, coming back onto the show, actually the first time on the 101. And Derek Anderson, the DA, is joining him. So I've got a 2 for tomorrow, and man, it's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Suzanne's in the chat now.
So
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Oh, you chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. We love you. Oh,
nobody wants to play with me.
all right, everybody. You have yourself a wonderful night. Take care.
you
We'll see you
too,
later.
brother. Hello, Suzanne. Good evening.
Tuck and roll. Oh,
Tuck and roll,
Tuck and
brother.
roll.
Tug and roll.
right.
And
Wrong
Betazord, Yeah, every Friday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, -6 GMT if you're in the UK. We have this little hangout. So every Friday.
I even wrote a theme song for it. I just gotta put some music to it.
Where everybody knows your name.
Where Loki and Snow know your name.
I thought it was where everybody knows who to blame.
Dave Bob, animation.
Well, it's probably not going to come as a surprise, but seeing as I'm a lot older than y'all, I've never been into anime.
Not even like Disney or cartoons back in the day, or
he's broadening his brush to Western animation too.
Well, you know,
Looney Tunes, obviously.
Plain animation, Looney Tunes, and that type of stuff.
We'll take that. We'll take that from the Dave Bob. We'll take Looney Tunes.
I got a question for Dave Bob.
Johnny Quest.
It's Punk Battle.
But Japanese anime, I was never into.
It's cool. We'll totally take Looney Tunes.
It's all good, Dave Bob.
So how was it seeing Steamboat Willie in the theaters when it came out?
Wow.
That's messed up.
That might have been a little bit before even my time.
It kind of went like this. Okay, I'll shut up.
No, that's Robin Hood. Do
Yeah.
do do do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do 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 do
Oodalada day.
Beta Zord, and it is very much appreciated. Thank you for hanging out with us, brother.
Data Zord's one of mine. I'm trying to get him into streaming like we do.
Heck yeah, the more the merrier. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. There's been a lot of go commando. There's been a lot of like knives out, backstabbing bullshit going on. Ignore that, and as long as you, and I'm not even going to say as long as you hang out with the right people, as long as you hang out with people that aren't up their own butts about their subscribers and have to have 100,000 views and are trying to like knife each other over for percentage, you'll be fine. There is drama, but as long as you stay out of it and you're just like, I don't want none of that, then you'll be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that there is shit that goes on, but just as long as you stay out of it, and if it comes knocking, you'll have a group of people that'll be like, because as much crap as Theory's going through right now, he's got a bunch of people that got his back because they know.
Yeah, Theory's going through a lot right now.
They know what's up.
Heck, YouTube tried to demonetize Drunk 3PO right as he was hitting his 100K, man. Like,
for reused content. Well, they did the same thing with his pirate channel. They tried to push that reused content shit with his pirate channel, and that's not true. All of his stuff's original, and he proved it, and they reinstated him. And he did the same thing with his other channel. You prove it. You fight it and you prove it. And with as many of us as have been through that nonsense before, listen to the people that have been through it and take their advice, and you will be okay. You will figure it out. It's almost like you got to have the right answers.
Cheat at your test. I remember
Papa Godfather Loki. Oh my God, Real Wade Nation. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm the Godfather. Yeah, okay.
You Godfather, huh?
I never acted like a godfather. I never treated anybody. I never was like, kiss the ring or any bullshit like that. I was some kind of like
you was some kind of big time hustler, huh?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'm making an offer you can't refuse.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's live stream.
Yeah. On the day of my homie's live stream, you come to me asking these questions.
Wade, thank you, brother. Thank you. And yeah, so man, every once in a while you got to deal with some bullshit, but I have never been around such a great group of guys and girls as well. Some of them,
Oh, Theta Sword, you're making it. Do you mean that from the bottom of my heart, man? Oh.
And getting to meet people like that and learn and hang out and figure out, who's genuine and who's not. And the biggest thing you got to watch out for is that guy trying to get in your back door.
Man, I tell you.
Holy shit, that guy.
Backdoor Gary, man.
Did you see how he bumped me over just to get here?
Right?
It's
that
not bumping,
guy.
It was like Punk Waddle. It was like Punk Waddle was sitting at the door until Gary just kind of busted in. Just like he just knocked Punk Waddle
all over the place. Yeah,
I feel like
I
I've been
can't say, guys,
leave the gun, take the cannoli.
I'm in the middle of writing.
Punk Waddle, you shouldn't stand by the door. You shouldn't stand.
Yeah.
What were you trying to say, Gary?
I was saying I can't stay. I'm in the middle of finishing a screenplay with Isaac for Tom Conkle, and I got to wrap up a scene tonight. But I wanted to drop in, and I wanted to point out, because I was listening to the show, that my buddy Fat Steven Seagal had the exact same thing happen a year ago, where he was shut down because of supposed
reused content.
Reused content. Mm-hmm. Absolute bullshit.
It's insane.
And this shit's insane when they do that. And you shouldn't have to prove it. They should have to prove you have repeated content. They're trying to make us do the work that they should be doing themselves.
I had to get a lawyer. Okay. So I had copyright. There was a copyright thing that happened where a company, I can't even remember the name of the company now because it wasn't a real company. They were pretending to be a real company, but they weren't a real company. They wanted the money from the live streams. Mm-hmm. And
hustlers.
They were trying to claim all the, and I mean, every single piece of music we used, even the ones I had copyrighted. I had to get a lawyer, and I had to have that lawyer contact the company they were claiming to be. They had to deny. They were like, we don't know who the hell you're talking about. We don't claim like this. This is how we claim. And my lawyer had to contact Google and go through YouTube and be like, look, this is here is the statement from the company. This is the written statement that they are not claiming this stuff on this site, and poof, it went away like magic. It stopped. But that's what I had to go through. I had to get a lawyer, a copyright lawyer.
They wouldn't be what they are if not for independent creators, and they've completely thrown us to the side in favor of studios and networks. Big corporations and
memes.
Totally
everybody remembers this memes. That was my morning song theme that I paid to get copyright for. That I paid to get copyright, and a copyright that would let me use it and monetize it.
Yeah,
I went to the creator of the song. The guy's name's Black Rom. It's his work name anyway. But I went through him and got copyright for the song. So I had copyright. Everything was in order. There was one song that I was using that was a We Three Kings Christmas song that eventually, the people, it was Epic. Eventually Epic came after me because they're the ones who own Rock Band now. So it was Epic's music division that came after me for it. But that was my own fault. I used it. I went in and muted every single time I ever used it. No big deal. But that song, I paid for. I paid for that.
Well, I'll tell you one last thing before I go. When I did a live stream and I was playing my own original music for my first 2 CDs, and I had a copyright claim on my own music that I own all the rights to.
From your company, from your record label?
Someone in Brazil.
Oh, I get that crap all the time. Oh,
yeah.
I ignore it.
Oh yeah, it was
But the
Abu
problem is
Dhabi or some
it'll
shit.
demonetize your show. And that's what it did.
Yeah.
It demonetized my show. And you can contest it, but I was told that if you lose a contest, because you can't prove something in a certain amount of time, it can actually cost you your channel. So I just simply stop worrying about it. Stop.
That's
If
not
I get
true.
a claim, I remove whatever it is. I don't care.
That's not true. It won't cost you your channel. You can fight any claim. The most they can do is say is disagree with you, and you'll get a message from YouTube saying they disagree with you. Do you want to push this further? If you want to push it further, push it further. But you can fight any claim the first time they send you something. You can say, no, this is where I got it. This is who I got it through. Here's a copy of this. You don't even have to attach a document. You just tell them, this is my email. I am blah, 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 yada, 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 blah, 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 and send it. If they fight you after that and you have documentation, send it and be like, here's my documentation. If that doesn't work, which it didn't work for me because they were still fighting it, I personally think it was someone dicking around with me. Get a lawyer and prove it.
And I've hit a point where I just don't care enough, where I just like, I'd rather just delete it because it wasn't about, it's not even what the show is about. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just remove that.
I just don't like people fucking with me.
Them. I don't either.
It all stopped after that. Once I lawyered up and fought it, it stopped. I think
I've just always seen myself as moving forward, always moving forward. And every single time you stop to do something, you have stopped moving forward. And
Shutterstock dicked around with me once about the song I played a minute ago. And I said, here's my copyright. Here's the letter from Black Rom. Here's this. And they never bugged me again. All it took was that one thing to show them, here it is, black and white. There you go. That's the way it should be. So Shutterstock one time screwed me.
Polly is being a homophobic in the chat, and he needs to stop going after Gary and his sexual.
Look, do we need to send Mike
everybody
down there
knows
for therapy?
Can you hang on for a minute, Jagiri, while I send Polly a invite? That way.
Oh, good Lord.
Is that a front door or back door invite for Paul?
First of all, he's the one who started the backdoor shit with me. You know? He's numero uno. Patient zero. He's patient zero.
Polly, you do have an invite.
Hail to Andy
in
Masterson.
Twitter.
Didn't I just see you at the castle? How's the banging and clanging going? Done with your workout yet?
What is up, brother? What is going on, Andy? I missed you. Holy shit.
Andy's either fresh back from the gym or listening to us at the gym.
Usually I can keep a good eye on the chat, but right now I'm watching my back door because Gary's here.
Hey, Snow, didn't you get something?
Don't worry, Mike Roach is watching your back door too.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, in the military, what we call that?
Well,
it's called nut
I know.
butt.
Nut
when you're
butt.
in a stack, when you're in the stack in CQB, it's called the butt.
Nuts to butt.
What were you saying, Punk Waddle?
I was saying, that guy, the toy maker,
Andy.
Andy. I was saying, Snow, didn't you get something from him recently that was pretty cool?
Yeah. Tell you what, as soon as we're done listing off all our favorite anime or animation, we should do show and tell because I got a couple things I want to show you guys. So
cool.
I got one thing I want to show
something
you.
really cool.
I bet you do.
Wow.
Gary.
Wait.
Should Gary go first? I mean,
no. Hey, look, man, I've got to get back to work, guys. I'm so tired right now, and I've got to finish this story. So you guys have a great night. It's good seeing you guys. I love you.
Good night, Gary.
Good to see you, brother.
Take it easy, Mac.
That is beautiful.
Waddle, Shellback, Tony,
what?
Dave, Bob,
Oh,
Sno Dub, and of course
She
my
got her
Polo.
tongue out because she's about to drop her panties or what?
no.
That is beautiful.
No.
Later, Gary. Later, brother.
you.
Take care
I'll
and
see you
thank
guys.
you. Thank you,
Bye,
brother.
Gary.
tuck and roll. Sorry, damn
Tuck
it,
and
wrong
roll.
show.
No, tuck and roll. Shit, you can tuck and roll here. We even got a song that says "Skull and Tuck and Roll" in it.
It's just like a nervous twitch, it just happens.
It's a
all
tick,
by
yeah.
itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Out the back door.
Yeah. Who's next on Shellback? What's your favorite animation?
I thought you were next, but That's fine. I'll go.
I'm last.
I mean, I don't know. I've got like a short list. Like I actually tried doing some like an anime type show on my channel once upon a time, but like I got there's Outlaw Star is a good one I like.
Yes.
Cowboy Bebop, Inuyasha, freaking Afro Samurai.
Nice.
One of my favorites of all time is because I grew up being like a gearhead. I mean, like I love cars and racing and all that stuff. Initial D. I don't know.
Initial D.
Nice.
Yeah.
You seen Shell? You seen have you seen the sequel? Have you seen the sequel to it?
I mean, maybe.
It's called MF Ghost. It's a sequel.
Oh no,
It's
I don't think I have.
Machina, you have a message.
I do.
There's another one called
Acting like he does know that his work is wonderful by
yeah.
Akimi Namara.
And also, the time
What about
comes
One
out
Gone
after
Midnight?
the panties drop.
Yes.
What about
Yes.
One Gone Midnight? Machina?
One Gone Midnight is like,
yeah.
If you're an enthusiast, like if you're a true gearhead enthusiast, you need to watch One Gone Midnight.
Yeah.
Because there's so much like heart and soul behind it, and it's like I'll get to mine after Snow because I'm going last on that one. Sorry, Snow.
Sno Dub, you're in charge. I'll be right back. I gotta refill drink.
Persia, what?
There's a couple that really started me out, which a lot of people don't think about them being anime. But like Voltron and Speed Racer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Both came from Japan.
Makagogo.
Right
So,
on.
yeah.
All right. And you don't have to always pick just anime either. Like it's any animation really.
Yeah.
You want to go next, Mr. Stark?
Yeah, I'll give it a fair poke but a lot of the shows that have been mentioned already, I don't want to double down on it. Obviously, everything that's been mentioned so far has been really, really good. But as far as my favorite anime movie, yes, I'm going to pull a Brandon here. My favorite anime movie would have to be Galaxy Express 999. It was my first exposure to that style of animation and direction and writing. And I love that movie. I love the concept of a choo-choo train going through space like it ain't no thing. That was cool.
Could you say it was the predecessor to Hawkeye Star Rail?
It is Hawkeye Star Rail. Captain Harlock and Interstellar 5555. All that stuff. Dominoes tumbled there. I do love that studio though. As far as anime series, this is also incredibly tough, as a lot of people have already mentioned some of my favorites, but nobody's mentioned Vampire Hunter D yet, and
nice.
I love me some Vampire Hunter D. Just love the concept of the Damphir and the post-apocalyptic world that it was set in, where like that stuff was really, really cool. My favorite OVA, I got to do this. I got to throw in a harem. Nobody's mentioned any harem animes yet, but Tenchi OVA was fucking amazing. Tenchi OVA, anything Tenchi OVA related.
You could probably say Tenchi's like the OG harem, though.
It is.
Like the OG harem, there.
But as far as like going off the beaten path about the genre, the harem genre. One of my favorites was Happy Lesson, where this high school kid ends up living with all of his teachers. And so like the science teacher's like a mad scientist. The school nurse is a Shinto priestess and traditional. And then the coach obviously makes him, constantly go through PT and all that stuff. I thought that, yeah, that's pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Like all the history, the art teachers, like bubbly, like, and like going, yeah, everything needs to be colorful and beautiful. Like, it's like everybody was basically a caricature of themselves, which was really, really cool. And if you haven't checked out Happy Lesson, I recommend it. And now for the sappy anime, I got to throw in a sappy anime, but also one that is really, really funny at parts, and that is You're Under Arrest. That's one that I don't see a lot of. It caters to the gearheads, but it also caters to the shonen guys out there too, because Miyuki's the woman that works on the car and all that stuff, and Natsumi can bench press that car, and so it's kind of a good.
What's the name of it?
You're Under Arrest. And then there is this like superhero called Strike Man, who's basically like themed after a baseball player who throws baseballs so fast that they knock out his opponents, and then he leaves them for the cops to pick up. But obviously, in the real world, that's crime. He's being a criminal because he's a vigilante and he's assaulting people. So Natsumi picks up a baseball bat, and she's the only one athletic enough to hit every one of his pitches. And so he has this like over dramatic, like, I will defeat you, home run girl. And she's like, don't fucking call me that. Don't fucking call me that. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. And then just because we got to throw in a little Western animation. See here. Growing up, in my later teens, this little show called Dexter's Lab, really increased on my vocabulary a little bit. And then just because. Who did that?
That was me.
That was a pretty decent man, Dark. However, you really got to accentuate your nerdiness.
Exactly.
You got to be able to say, shame on you, Dexter. Shame on you.
Oh.
You. I'm watching you.
Anything from
yeah, and then just because it's out of left field and it's also incredibly funny, I got to throw in the Boondocks. Great show.
I wouldn't count. Would Boondocks count though? That's more
Western.
No.
It's Western with Eastern influence.
Yes, yeah,
obviously.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a hell of a list.
I told you. I think out of the 5 shows that I've listed, I think only Brandon and I know of 3 of them.
Well, Mac wants to go last. Either me or Loki goes next, I guess.
Are you ready to go, or you want me to go?
I can go. We pretty much covered anime. I like all the good ones have been mentioned. Obviously, Ninja Scroll, Fist of the North Star, Akira, just classics. But I'll dip in the other realms of movies that are anime that I love. As far as like when my growing up, my childhood, Watership Down was very influential of a movie. What else? Disney classics. I would say Alice in Wonderland was probably my favorite.
Very happy on birthday to you, sir.
Yeah. What else? Let's see. So, more recently, I mean, there's a couple Pixar movies I really liked, like WALL-E and Up. They were really good. Kind of in their prime, They're just different. But trying to think what else. There's so many. So nobody mentioned Spawn, the animated series that was on HBO. That's one of my faves for sure. And cartoon wise, I grew up on He-Man, G.I. Joe, of course, the real Ghostbusters. What else? Garfield and Friends was probably my favorite.
Yeah, it was Garfield and Friends.
Yeah, that was always my favorite because it felt like the comic strip literally came to life for me. They were the best, I think, personally, renditions of Garfield, and the voices just seemed spot on with John and him.
I like how Garfield never moved his lips. One of the reasons why I hated the Garfield films.
Exactly.
The concept of Garfield is he would always have a snide ass thought to whatever John was saying.
Right.
Which is the reason why he never spoke with his mouth. It was him just thinking, "Yeah, you're an idiot." You know.
Yeah.
Like
he only spoke with his mouth when he like screamed or had a meow or got hurt.
He only opened his mouth for two things. One was
And to
for
eat.
lasagna, and the other was for the man to eat more lasagna.
You know, I never thought I was a cat person until I realized how much I like, well, pasta and snark.
Snarf? Oh my god!
Oh, and shout out to the Ninja Turtles. I forgot to mention Ninja Turtles. Big Turtles cartoon fan.
Pre-Red era, Red Sky era. I hope. God, Red Sky era was ridiculous. I didn't like Red Sky era Ninja Turtles.
I'm talking the classic cartoon.
Yeah. To me, TMNT ended after season 7. Season 8, 9, and 10 were the Red Sky era was ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear we lost one of the?
By that point.
Did you hear we lost one of the voice actors?
Yes.
For,
Splinter.
Yeah, for Splinter. Yeah.
Oh, I see that. Yeah. Well, we lost Shredder a long time ago too. He was the same guy that was in.
We lost
Uncle Phil.
I was about to say we lost a lot of people when we lost Phil Lamar. Let's be honest.
Right. Yep.
Oh, speaking of, give me 1 second. So I had no freaking idea. Let me pull this up real quick. Wing Commander 4. Let me see if I can get continue on. I'm just gonna see if I can get
I believe
picture
all the
of
ones,
this guy.
all the ones that Sno Dub mentioned. I believe I watched all of them religiously.
Okay.
You know, especially like GI Joe and
James
He-Man,
Avery, not Phil.
It's James Avery.
Transformers, of course. Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So-
I have a pretty decent Frank Welker.
Okay, so I guess we'll save Loki for. I guess we'll.
No,
save
no. I got it. Watch this. Okay, so this is a scene from a video game called Wing Commander 4.
Oh, here we
Okay,
go.
and I want to show you. I love these games.
Right.
I just happened to rent Wing Commander 3, Heart of the Tiger, from a Blockbuster something back in the day. And I absolutely lost my shit because it was like you had video in a video game. It was really cool.
FMBs, yeah.
But there's a character, this character right here, this sumbitch right here. Okay.
Look what the solar winds blew in. Welcome aboard, Colonel.
Do you know who that is?
That looks
Holy
familiar.
fuck.
Is that face?
Hamato Yoshi.
That is
The Shredder.
I am your father. I had no freaking idea.
That's not
back
Shredder?
then. That is Shredder. That is Shredder
That is
from
Shredder.
the movie.
Yeah, that is Shredder from.
That is
That is,
Shredder.
I was about to say that's Hamato Yoshi. I called it. Yes.
That is Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, and
No.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Tony,
2.
Tony, you're talking about Splinter. It's a Roku.
No,
a
a Roku
Saki. Yes.
Haruko Saki.
There you go.
So I had
I always
no
get those two
idea
mixed up.
back in the day. I just didn't know. And if you
It's
ever
those eyes. Those eyes gave
watch these, this is it's got Mark Hamill in it. And Mark Hamill's an absolute douchebag.
Don't forget Tim Curry. Do not forget Tim Curry.
No, and it's got some really crazy. It's got Biff Tannen from Back to
Tom
the
Wilson?
Future. It's got Tom Wilson in it. Todd Maniac Marshall is who he plays. This is something that I was expecting in the movie, and they completely screwed it up and made it gay. But Admiral Tolwyn is played by Malcolm McDowell. John Rhys Davies plays Paladin in these games. There is a star-studded cast of characters in these games where you're like, holy shit, how did they do that? This was all Chris Roberts back in the day, making badass shit. Now he makes nothing but vaporware now. But he made some of the coolest games on PS1 and PC back in the day. So cool that I've got the hard copies of the PC versions and the PlayStation version still to this day.
That's
So,
awesome.
if you like stuff like that, and these movies are watchable, you can watch these and kind of know what's going on. It's all good. It's all absolutely good.
Now,
so
Tom,
as far as my
and start singing about them questions.
as far as my anime goes, though,
Street Fighter 2.
Damn Sagat.
Street Fighter 2.
I have one thing to say, man. I saw the readouts on Sagat's visor. I saw them, and it was like 3,400. And I'm thinking to myself, man, Earth Scouters are very, very lenient because you got to remember, all a Hadouken is a key blast for anybody else.
34,
so that's not
3,400.
There's a cyborg. There's a cyborg monitor watching the fight between Sagat and Ryu, and he's the one who's taking that footage. So,
well, 3,400 ain't nothing. Wait till it gets to 9,000.
Oh boy!
But it's. I mean, I love that shit. I love the Street Fighter 2, Fatal Fury. I loved all those animes back then.
Basically,
dude, Fatal Fury was so badass when Kim shows up and beats the holy hell out of that guy, dude. I was like, damn, whole nother level of respect for Kim because I used to hate him. I was like, dude, what a punk. And in the games anyway. And then I saw him in that movie and I was like, okay, you know what? Because he's getting his ass whipped and he's like, no, Terry, Andy, Joe, leave it to me. I got this. This son of a bitch is going down. And he does it. And it's like, damn, whole nother level of respect for Kim.
Yeah, Theta Zord says Goku and Piccolo were only $5.99 during the Raditz fight. Again, if that readout is very, very friendly to somebody who's charging all of his power for one key blast.
I can't stop noticing that Max just keeps making the titties bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah.
And bigger.
No, I'm just trying to get the curves right.
Hey Max. hey Mac. You gotta find a pair of panties to fit over those so that they can drop off.
Big enough to knock a man down, shaped like grapes.
I guess whatever.
Yes.
Initiate jiggle physics.
Yes.
Oh, and for all members out there that are watching right now, if you go to my community tab, right now there are 2 downloads set up for you guys if you want them. One of them is a folder with all the music we've been using except for the latest stuff. The second is a direct link to the Make the Panties Drop Malkany Draws song.
Yeah.
So that you can listen to Making the Panties Drop whenever you want.
By the way, that's one thing I want to ask you. I still need to get a commercial from you, man, to run during my commercial blocks.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
I mean, your opener with Skull and Tuck and Roll is good commercial material, but
I can do that.
Yeah,
I'll just send it to you. I'll throw it in my Google Drive and I'll send it to you. Loki music, yes,
dude.
Yes.
The first time I heard that song, I was like, man, that's some Man of War vibes, dude. Like that was battle hymns worthy, dude.
That's right. And we've been working on, there's a whole bunch of stuff in that folder. So if you're a member, just download the folder, unzip it. You have to either have WinZip or 7-zip, whatever. Unzip it with a zip file and open it up, and you've got all the songs in there. You've got the Heirs of Chaos, the Heirs of Courage. You've got all the stuff we've been using in the mornings, including the Tuck and Roll song that I did for, I think it was Thursdays.
Thursday.
Yep. So it's all on there. And I believe that one is that. I think.
Not that one. That one. Yeah. I know that one.
So, yep. That's all in there. So the 0 Hour song.
You need to learn how to sweep, Stokey. Sweep.
Positively Positive.
Morning light in Loki's eyes. Plots and schemes under blue skies. Mischief maker on the rise.
Wait a minute, wait. Is Mexican Iron Man here? Oh, hold on. Whoa, hold the phone.
Loki's mornings full of tricks. Taco Tuesday never skips.
I have a message for Mexican Iron Man.
Queen of discord where I stand, chaos in my every hand. Goddess of the wild night, bringing
Little Heiress of Chaos.
Valhalla's throne is where I reign, with a heart that knows no pain.
We can review with Arwen.
Lucky dawn breaks bright. Trying through all the night.
And of course, as a bonus song,
I just care about you, but I totally like to draw a lot. Listen to this one.
Panties hit the floor, give me more. Liking me makes it happen, hard to teach, just tapping.
but if I had to go with an anime series, it's a Japanese series. It's gonna be Iron Blooded Orphans. Is my absolute. I freaking love Iron Blooded Orphans. That's what me and Punk Walter were talking about earlier. If I had to go with something from when I was a kid, it's gonna be Voltron. If I had to go with something American, even though it has Japanese artists in it, it's going to be Thundercats is my number 1. Transformers would probably be my number 2. G.I. Joe would probably be my number 3.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I mean, dude, I'm an old school Japanimation guy. So anything from the 80s, 90s, some stuff from the 70s, early 2000s. I didn't see Iron Blooded Orphans till last year, so I didn't even know it existed. Okay. And it wasn't until I saw that I was like, damn, that is badass. I wish I had caught it on Netflix because they had the second season dubbed. And it is hard as shit to find the second season dubbed.
Yeah.
Did anybody mention Dragon Ball Z?
You know what? I understand that there are some badass Dragon Ball people out there. I've never been able to get into watching Dragon Ball.
Well, some people need to understand that when you're perfect, you're perfect.
I've tried multiple times to watch the original show, and that is a slog and a test of metal to try and get through.
Well, back when I was still in the Navy, I had to go to school in Jacksonville, Florida for a little bit, and my roommate got me into fucking Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, you fucking bastard.
Remember that time that Vegeta told me to achieve my perfection, and I did, and then I kicked his ass. Yeah. It was amazing.
Gundam the Origin, Ironcaster, almost all Gundam. I haven't seen the last couple of series because I honestly everything up to Iron Blooded Orphans I've watched. Everything else I haven't had a chance to catch up with yet. So
the Origin is really cool because it's the Rise of the Red Comet. It got recut. It's newer animation following just how Char became Char. And it's
I got a book, guys. I got to get up early in the morning.
Dave Bob, brother, thank you.
Good night, Dave.
Thank you for being here.
Good night, Dave Bob.
Have fun at the Dearleys tomorrow.
Fellow bird.
Tuck and roll. Oh, sorry.
Tuck and roll. Skull and tuck and roll.
So late with that.
But yeah,
you know,
I I agree with Loki. I could never. Well, I'll take it one further. Is I could never really get into the Shonen Jump stuff. Like I've gotten into One Piece because it's it never ends, right? It's a story that hasn't ended yet. But for the rest of it, I've tried and I had friends that tried to get me into stuff, and I just couldn't do it.
So one of my favorite
Snyder is using Freezer. Now you listen here, Freezer.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but like one of my favorite live action movies came from an anime and manga, and that's Alita. But the thing is, like so I only caught like a little bit of like the animated Alita movie or whatever, but that's one that I'd like to actually really dive into, I think.
So you want to see like everything that happened?
Yeah, I just want to see the animated Alita stuff. Yeah.
Chrono says the never-ending story. I don't think
There
they
was an
animated
Empress
that.
that was very childlike in that movie.
Was there?
And also there was a wolf that was a wolf
Nagilum.
that talked.
Nagilum, right? That was his
Yeah.
name, Nagilum. Yeah.
Yeah, there were cartoons.
There were cartoons?
Yeah, an animated TV series. I think
For
it-
Never Ending Story?
Yeah,
I remember now. Yeah, that took me a minute. Jeez.
I mean, I remembered it, but I googled it, but it says 95 to 96.
Oh no. I was watching cartoons in 95, 96. And,
I was watching After These Messages We'll Be Right Back.
I use that. I occasionally get dinged for using that bumper when I run my commercial breaks because that's what I always do when I go to commercial. Is it the After These Messages?
After These Messages.
I can believe it.
Be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Wait, what?
The more you know.
The more you know.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? God help me, dude.
If you take a book, take a look.
It's
Reading Rainbow.
Butterfly in the sky.
Oh, man.
I can go
can fly
twice as
twice as
high. Just take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow.
Reading Rainbow.
Starring Lamar Burton, who ended up being a prick later.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad trying to get me to watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I was like, "This looks so gay. This is not the swashbuckling adventures of Captain Kirk and Spock and McCoy. I don't want to watch this." And my mom was like, "But it's got that guy in it that you like." I'm like, "What guy?" The guy from the book show. What book show? Reading Rainbow. I'm like, LeVar Burton in it?
LeVar? And he's
LeVar
blind?
Burton. And he's the blind helmsman. And I'm like, I'll try it.
But how
He's got a banana clip on his face.
Rainbow if he's blind.
And the only character I liked, of course, was Worf. That was it. That was the only reason why I watched it was Worf.
The Next
'Cause I was
Generation was definitely more like highbrow, philosophical sci-fi and less swashbuckling. I agree.
Yeah, it was a complete juxtaposition.
Well,
to things in space.
and they were in that first. Go ahead, Shelley.
Oh, I was just going to say, well, instead of the captain being a man whore like in the original, it was the executive officer that was the man whore.
That's right. You have multiple genders. Color me intrigued.
All right, Zap Brannigan.
No, it's somebody say Zap Brannigan.
I couldn't stand any of the cast. The only person I liked was Worf. I didn't even like LeVar. That first season was tough for me to get through as a kid. And I remember watching it.
Shut up, Wesley.
I remember liking
Shut up,
Worf.
Wesley.
And that's like the only character. Eventually, I liked Data. And I liked Data hanging out I think I started liking Data when they did the the first Sherlock Holmes episode, Elementary Dear Data. And I was like, okay, this guy's okay. I like him because he likes
Data
Sherlock
when they
Holmes.
got the emotions chip and whenever he was still calibrating it, and so like every one of his reactions was like exaggerated when he's laughing in his chair. Captain, they're firing lasers at us. Lasers? Lasers. Don't they know they can't penetrate our navigational seals? Don't they know that? Well, regulations do call for yellow alert. Very old regulation. Make it so, number one.
Lasers.
Lasers.
I just want some freaking sharks with some freaking lasers.
That is the outrageous Okono.
Freaking laser beams.
How many times are they going to impersonate Dr. Evil? Okay, I get it. Everybody loves me.
The episode you're talking about is called The Outrageous Okono.
Is that Dr. Evil? Was that Dr. Evil or the Orange Man? Sorry, I couldn't tell the difference.
Well, that sounds like a fun new segment.
I love Lore too. Shit, I love Lore too. I thought Lore was great. I thought it was amazing that he got to play two characters at once. Dr. Evil.
That's right. It's yours truly. I am Dr. Evil.
How's your shaved scrotum?
Well, that's actually a good segue into today's not official sponsor. If you could make me big for just a few seconds, I will happily tell you. If you want your testicles to look like this, you need to understand the quality of a shorn scrotum. When your balls wag between your knees like the pendulum of a grandfather clock,
he's gonna get his fucking shut
down. You need razors that are ergonomic, sensitive, and capable of making sure that you nick no skin but get rid of all the scruff. That's why we recommend Manscaped. Their great razors have a wide array of razors that will allow you to have a shorn scrotum. Yes, I feel like I'm 14 again.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm with Ironcaster on this one. Just go get it up, bro.
It's breathtaking.
Breathtaking, yes. I have a few evil plans, but you'll have to listen to them over at Tony's show.
Machini, you have the floor, my friend.
Okay. All right. Where do I begin?
Tell us about your love of anime, how it started.
Okay.
Are you going to start with your childhood?
We're going to go strictly anime. No, I'm not. We're not going to do Western. We're going to start strictly anime. So first up, we'll start with Shonen. Yes, everybody will cite Dragon Ball Z. People will cite Naruto. People will cite One Piece. People will cite all the big ones. For me personally, as much as I liked Dragon Ball Z growing up, I didn't stay along with it. Couldn't get into Naruto. I couldn't get into a lot of the other shonens. The only shonen that I really, really got into, and I mean as far as mainstream shonen goes, was Bleach. I was a huge Bleach fan back in college. In fact, I've had so many. In fact, I was part of a huge Bleach fandom in college. So I was really big into that, especially when you get into the kind of we had to suffer through the filler arcs, but it was worth it because we watched everything. We watched the Japanese subs before the English subs.
Don't talk to us about the Bound, please.
There's too many. Yeah. The filler arcs were a slog to get through, but the main stuff was totally worth it.
Yeah. Bleach is another one that I've only dipped my toe into that I want to get into.
Especially when they finally start getting into the Espada War. Especially when we got into that. I didn't grow up I grew up with pretty much a lot of the mainstream stuff. Of course, my first anime was Sailor Moon, of course. So I got into that.
Power Girl stuff.
That was my first exposure because I was a 90s kid, so I didn't discover. I was a 90s kid, so I didn't discover like anime until like Toonami. That's like the late 90s when I started seeing Sailor Moon. That was like my first real discovery into that.
Have you ever watched Magic Knights Rayearth?
I have not.
You need to watch Magic Knights Rayearth. Holy shit! I don't like Power Girl. I don't like Power Girl. I don't like Sailor Moon. I'm not a big, but dude, I love Magic Knights Rayearth. I will watch the shit, and it's got such a totally messed up twist at the end of it that you're like, holy shit, I can't believe they just did that. So
Yeah.
check out Magic Knight's Rare.
Okay, I'll look into that. I'll have some visuals up. So I got into a lot of the mainstream stuff. So Pokemon, of course. I was more Digimon just because Digimon was better, just because the monster designs were so much better. Really into the first 2 seasons and the third one, and then a little bit of I forgot the season where they actually transformed into Digimon themselves. That was a little bit much later. That was during the Jetix era, Disney XD, whatever you want to call it. As far as anime films go, obviously Akira. That was also my first exposure. I've watched Akira so many times. I want to say Macross Plus, I think it was one of the Macross films. Macross. Yeah, I think it was one of the Macross films.
Macross 7?
I have to look it up. But
Macross the movie.
Let's see what else.
Get that jet fighter a pair of legs and get it now.
Like I said, Macross. Macross I really liked. Of course, Afro Samurai, the first one, and Resurrection, which I really like both. Which I understand Resurrection is not as good as the first one, but you really got to watch Resurrection because it's a really great cast. By the way, Mark Hamill plays a couple of roles in that as well. So just to give you a heads up on that, little trivia for that.
Yo, Afro.
As far as Miyazaki films go, it's Spirited Away until the day I die. I got the 4K Blu-ray of Spirited Away. It is the only anime I can say this with proudly. It is the only anime film that not only my mother loved, but my late grandmother loved as well. And Spirited Away is my favorite of all Miyazaki films. So I know everybody's got a lot of films like Ponyo, Howl's Moving Castle, but Spirited Away will always be mine. Now, I want to get into the essentially kind of dipping my toes into the mangaka side, because my all-time favorite mangaka is done by Ito Ogure, who you guys probably know as Oh Great. He did the manga adaptation. He did mangas for some of my favorite animes. One of them is actually adapted from one of my all-time favorite mangas. Is adapted from him. This Tenro Tenge, which is basically probably my favorite of the high school martial arts style anime. That is probably my favorite one. And then, of course, my all-time favorite manga is Air Gear, which is essentially, think Dragon Ball Z meets Jet Set Radio, basically. Motorized inline. It basically popularized the whole motorized inline skates, and it was freaking such a sick concept. Unfortunately, Air Gear didn't get a second season, but it got a lot of it got a couple of OVAs, which I was like, man, there's so much great stuff from there. As far as kind of growing up, I will have to also bring up Card Captor Sakura, which you guys probably know, which if you watched WB back in the day, that was known as Card Captors. Really like that. But also wanted to bring up that Air Gear was also kind of my introduction into sports, the sports genre. You guys do not know how incredible watching a sports anime is, and I think one of the all-time favorite sports anime is hands down Haikyuu. It is all about I think it's probably the greatest volleyball anime, and it's such a really, really awesome one to get into. And I would actually highly implore a lot of people to get into kind of the sports genre, because they do such an incredible job and get you invested in it. Now, of course, I will cite Initial D, Wangan Midnight, MF Ghost, which is the sequel to Initial D. I like it, but it clearly pales. It's just it pales such in comparison to the original. As far as that, also liked I got one for I got actually two for Shellback. Look up X Driver, which is really cool because it dealt with which is a very old school 90s anime. It dealt with kind of like a crime squad that was dealing with automated that was self-automated cars basically was pretty cool doing that. Plus there's a lot of gear porn in just when you watch some of the scenes in X Driver too. I grew up watching Anime Unleashed on G4 Tech TV. My all-time favorite anime show from that specific anime is also Culture's all-time favorite anime, Last Exile. Last Exile is absolute fantastic. It's absolutely
Holy guacamole! Somebody is out nerding both Mr. Stark and Brandon the anime guy.
I really highly implore everybody to watch Last Exile. It is such a fantastic, and Culture cannot sing enough praise for it. I can't. I think it's one of the best examples of Art Deco, especially 1920s Art Deco style in anime form. Absolutely. Going back to mainstream, I did like Inuyasha, but I was really into Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Of course, watching the OG Ghost in the Shell film, really liked that one. I never saw the live action one with Scarlett Johansson. Let's see. There's probably a couple more. I'm probably thinking at the top of my head, but those are the ones that I kind of named off of. Now, we can talk 90s. We could talk 90s anime. We could talk how gorgeously beautiful 90s anime is, but I'm going to tell you this. You have not seen peak 90s anime until you've watched at least 12 seconds of this motorsport anime called Future GPX Cyber Formula. It is basically, it's a racing anime that deals with futuristic sports set in 2020 with Cyber Formula, which is the next step up from Formula One. Really freaking cool stuff. Finding out that, if you're kind of mesmerized by this animation, it took $400,000 just to render 12 seconds. 12 freaking seconds. And
I want to link to this anime. I'm looking at this tech and this mechanics, and
it is art. It is absolute artistry. Lord. Absolute artistry that this was.
I had to break character to say that. That is so cool.
There was one main show. I think it was back in the late. I think it was back in the early 90s. You had one show, and then you had basically two or three shows, and then OVAs, and it dealt with character Hayato during his entire season, during his entire 5 seasons within Future GPX Cyber Formula, becoming, I think it was a 3-4-time world champion, and even dealing with an entire season where he suffers a huge injury and has to go into rehab. It's really, really great stuff. But yes, it is that expensive. It took 90. I think this was I forgot, this was Sunco, whoever what it was. Of course, we could bring up Evangelion. That is Evangelion is an all-time classic. Gurren Lagann as well. Pretty much anything for Studio Trigger. Of course, obviously, Cyberpunk Edge
Gurren Lagann was so ridiculously OP, man.
Pyro King.
Of course, obviously, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, fantastic. Just so many off the top of my head, and that's just like from what I point out. I hadn't even got into like the more fan servicey stuff and more of the H stuff as well. But yeah, I just want to keep it to that. So, but if you want to kind of go more into fan servicey stuff, kind of some of the stuff I mentioned, because Air Gear in Tenno Tenge was big on fan service. Of course, I was big into Senran Kagura, both the anime and the game series as well. Wow, there's a lot. Yeah, I named
This is why Makini went last.
Yeah.
Neuron activation.
I'm sorry, Snow. I gotta beat you to
this. It's a buffet. Everybody get your plate, and then Makini's gonna clear the table.
Yeah, right. There's so many I could go off on. I don't even watch as much anime as but I play a lot of gacha games, so I'm like gotta what's this there. But I have so many. I had so many. It's so many I can't even remember from the top of my head.
Check out Magic Knights Rare if you like Sailor Moon, or you love Sailor Moon. You'll be sitting there crying your eyes out.
Awesome.
With some of this stuff, and it's emotional. It's deep. one of the guys that did. So it's weird, but this is really weird. And I don't know if this is like a norm because I don't watch a lot of the Power Girl stuff at all.
Shellback, you need to watch. Shellback, Michael T says you need to watch this very ecchi anime called Valkyrie Drive.
Oh my god.
But you'll go from like classic Japanese animation that is absolutely beautiful, and the long form, and then suddenly they look like fucking Powerpuff Girls, and you're like, wait a minute, what? And it's always when like they're like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, la, la, la. And it's like the art style changes for the girls in the middle of the show, and but it's not really. I mean, yeah, it's beautiful art. That's not really what got me. What got me is the story.
Right.
The story is so damn good, and you're like, okay, so these girls are in another world. They're there to save the planet. They're not on Earth. They're in this other world. They get like spirited away to this other world, and they've got to save this princess, and the princess is one who called them. But everything it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So if you want to see some badass monster fights, if you want to see some badass girls getting armor, swords, magic, and mechs, these girls get these ray gods that are like giant mechs later in the show. It takes them a
like
while
Warhammer
to get to
40K
it.
meets
and to kind of go into Punk Waddle and Iron Castle Sanatory, Wing. I liked Wing. I like G Gundam, and I'm probably one of the few who actually like Gundam Seed.
Well, the Seed, I really like.
It got better at the very end. Once it got.
I'll give you the Seed was one of the very first Gundam.
Take care, Flatus.
It was one of the first actual series Seed, and the other one, the second season. I'm blanking on the name, but like great mecha designs. Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh,
there's some whiny people in it, but it's funny how as many people complain about the characters, the Gundams and the Gunpla have been flagship up until they came out with the Unicorn. I mean, there's some of the.
Oh god, the Unicorn is fucking sick.
But I mean, just like those are some of the ones that you keep seeing every few years. There's a new version of this and a new version of the Freedom, and there's a new version of the, the Astrays. Like they were cash cows for the franchise.
Oh yeah.
Which kind of makes it interesting in that juxtaposition. I will say my very first master grade that I bought was a red Astray, right? So with all the swords and the samurai swords, a big robot with samurai swords and a big ass like that big blade. It's kind of epic, right? It doesn't stand up well, but it's epic.
And I cannot, of course, I'd be remiss if I could not forget Code Geass, which I've watched Jesus, like religiously. Over and over. I love that anime. And of course, and I do also have to add Cowboy Bebop since after seeing
you're a Cowboy Bebop fan?
After seeing that piece, after seeing how what was it, Daniela Pineda, whatever the fuck her name was, where she was lashing out at fans about the whole with Faye's costume design. I had to get the 4K Blu-ray set of Cowboy Bebop.
I could never get into Cowboy Bebop. I don't know what it was. I just never. It was people were like, "Oh my god, you have to watch this. This is the ultimate anime," and I was like, "There's other stuff I like better than that."
But it's just the thing is, Cowboy Bebop. It just oozes in so much style and flair, and it is just.
You can't binge it though because
you can't.
They're standalone, kind of like their own mini movies.
And speaking of standalone own mini we're gonna go around the panel. And we're gonna say goodbye, starting with Sno Dub, if he's still there. I don't know if he's still there or not.
Yeah,
Okay.
So goodbye.
Talk and roll, motherfucker.
Yeah, talk and roll, assholes. No, I'll take a quick second. I know we didn't really get to show and tell, but I don't know if Andy's still in the chat. He might have went to bed. But Andy Masterson sent me something really cool. It's
really
this
Oh, show us. You can, yeah.
little snowman
Oh,
guy
yes.
That guy's really awesome.
Mr. Cool.
Mr. Cool, yeah.
Mr. Cool.
He be fronting. Look at that. What?
That's
they're really-
very inspired by the Clay Fighter, man. Every time I see
Yes, it
Mr.
is.
Cool. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So the really cool thing is my top donators, I got 9 of them that donated to my Crowley cremation fund. They are going to get one of the heads, not the whole body, but the head, kind of like my logo, and they'll get it with some kind of delivery. So like I think Mr. Stark's getting one, and
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, no way. Wow.
And Squeaka Mouse, who I haven't seen all night, unfortunately, but she's getting one, and so
We miss you, Squeaka.
Love you, Squeaka.
So, but yeah, that campaign's still going, but don't worry about it because we're trying to focus on Loki's right now and get his filled. I don't know if he wants to plug it or not.
Well,
But
I'm doing Loki's Stark Relief Foundation next Thursday at 4.
awesome.
I did not know that.
And I got another gift in the mail.
Oh, that's
RG
awesome.
McCready Pop.
Holy shit.
nice.
I was like, is that Jon Snow? No, it's not Jon Snow. It's McCready.
You got the shotgun?
He's got the flamethrower.
Oh, the flamethrower. Sorry, it's very, very tiny.
Oh, let me, God help me. I'm sitting
And
here
Big
like
Horizon.
I'm watching instead of.
Yeah.
Now it looks like a flamethrower.
Yep. Just came out, I think. There's actually going to be 2 of the monsters as well. Like a Blair monster and a little spider head guy monster. So I'm not a big Pop fan, but I anything the Thing I love. So it doesn't matter if it's a Pop or not. It's pretty cool. So this person was we'll just say anonymous, but thank you. Very cool.
Nobody trusts anybody anymore. We're all very tired.
Indeed.
Don't trust anyone. I should know.
And
Dorito.
Cotton Council tomorrow night. There we go.
Cotton Council tomorrow night, Saturday. Make sure you're there. Be there. Be square. I know I whipped the crap out of Chulo for getting on
Chulo
here
got
again.
choked. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I was like, whoa.
Around.
Wait, did I hear Cotton Council? No, you're later. Oh, but I'm one in.
Chulo after round and found out.
Chulo after round and found out. Well, I got a phone call saying, hey, I know you're watching Beetlejuice, but you better get your ass back to the house because that little bastard's on your computer again. And I was like, son of a bitch.
I have a few things I want to say to that Mexican iron feller.
Showback, what do you got going on, Mr. Megazord?
Yeah.
Pedals.
You know, like right now, like Snow said, Cotton Council tomorrow night, and you know what? I'm gonna throw one more in there for the what we were talking about. G-Force. That's another one I grew up with.
G-Force.
Yeah.
Ain't the one with the hamsters, is it?
No, is it like Battle of the Planets? Or,
Oh, okay.
I can't. Yeah.
Nobody remembers the one with the hamsters except for Makani.
Right. Well, there was one with gerbils.
Yeah,
well,
I
no,
was.
that was Richard
Yeah,
Gere.
I didn't want to talk about that one either.
Gerbils and a sock with a dick in its mouth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was that Stephen Lynch song, "Go Gerbil Go." Anyway,
I give Shellback shit, and he. I'm surprised he even comes on here anymore.
Yeah.
Even though I love him, and he knows I love him to death. So, go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Yeah. Babies! They're babies!
Punk Waddle, what do you got coming up, brother? I know you got your ponderances. I've been watching your ponderances, your morning drops. So
yeah. I after talking to you guys and kind of just the feedback, Loki, Snow, and a few other people decided to start dropping a little bit. And I mean, and Culture's been saying just put something out there. It can be short. So figured the Penguin Positivity add that to the weekly lineup. Try to put at least one of those out, and the PSAs, and then the weekends for the Ice House pontifications, the ponderances. So a little long form. So I figured if enough people start seeing the short stuff, I'm like, oh well, I might be interested in hanging around for more of the long stuff. So kind of give a little bit of something for everybody. Yeah.
Dak, take care, brother. Take care. Makini, brother, we've been missing you in the mornings.
No. Well, I had to work early, so that's why. To this morning, I do need to steal Loki and possibly Sno Dub after the show, but
okay.
But first off, I got a Discord, CSF Nation Discord. We are trying to grow that. We are definitely trying to grow that. We got
you got a link? Throw it in private.
Yeah. We got like 24 members strong. We're basically an art Discord, but we cut up in there, and it's just so much fun to really kind of finally finally really get into making a Discord as such, especially for the community that we are definitely community that we're really trying to grow here. Of course, Makini Live on Sundays with myself and Mama Bear and friends as well. We are going to be playing the game that IGN refuses to review because I just got it in my library. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop.
You know why? You know why they're doing that?
Because they're hypocrites.
Because they're playing the best Star Wars game ever made. Star Wars Outlaws.
I just want to remember people. Outlaws got a 7 out of 10. Concord got a 7 out of 10. What was it? Oh yeah. Dustborn, the game I had to suffer through, got a 7 out of 10.
There's gotta be something, maybe in.
But
I have to work on
Chainsaw,
an AI song about 7 out of 10.
By the way, I feel that. By the way, Lollipop Chainsaw is probably one of the best things James Gunn has ever written. Before Guardians of the Galaxy, this is James Gunnn before Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a good game. I love it.
So we're playing that on Sunday because we gotta for the male games, of course.
So guys, if you see the link in chat, it's right there. I've got it highlighted. It's in the chat right now.
Thank you, guys.
That's the link to Makini's Discord.
Yes, the CSF Nation Discord. We're basically in our community. I really, really appreciate seeing more people there. We share our stuff, and it's just such a fun thing to be there. Of course, Makini Live. I've been doing those work doodle shorts. You guys have been loving that. I will post another short specifically of my Baz redesign from Concord because that was the thing. Now everybody is doing redesign, so I'm gonna do a short, and then I got a full video coming next week. I got another video coming this week, which is kind of my final say on Dustborn after suffering through it because And other than that, I have been just working and lurking and just putting stuff out. Everybody who got their batches from last month has already been sent out, and now we're ready to start on term 3 with of course my art drops that I do for my channel members. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I cannot thank all of you enough for the incredible support on that, and just us growing this, and just my channel just growing, thanks to just the influx of content that I've been doing. And I can't, like I said, I can't thank y'all enough. We're at 2208. We're still pushing towards that 3K for the end of the year, and I'm working. I'm like one of the hardest. I try to be one of the hardest working people on this platform.
And he is. There's a reason why I'm subscribed and I'm a member and I'm all that shit. I'm ambassador level and all that shit. Is because he is one of the hardest working people on this damn platform.
So yeah.
I watched that stream that Makini did with with the Dustborn. And
oh God,
Makani, I love you to death, but I will volunteer for waterboarding before I watch another Dustborn stream.
Oh God, that was. Oh.
Tony, we've got you set up to redirect, so we're going to send everybody over to your stream at the end of this stream. Even if you don't go live right away, you should still get the interaction and whatever. That way people can subscribe to you, check you out. We'll throw your link out in the chat, which I'm doing right now. But what do you got coming up, Tony?
The band, please. It's Stock Saturday Matinee! Starring Tony Stark and multiple post-apocalyptic survivors in his chat. We will be going live right after Friday Night Frolics over at Overlord DVD's channel on the dime. Also, tune in next week at Thursday at 4 p.m. as we do a bonus matinee for the Stock Relief Foundation, where we'll be helping our good host, Sno Loki, help him with his medical bills and prospects. We hope that you tune in. Tune in on your radios or your sorceress telephonic rectangular devices and listen to the variety program that we have for you. This has been brought to you by the fine folks at Grey Tortoise Cigarettes, the Nuka-Cola Corporation, and Iodette Toothpaste. Rot your teeth, then smile pretty, because Lord knows you're never fully dressed without one. Thank you.
Oh my God.
This guy
Wow.
is absolute insane.
Wow.
Tony Stark, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Absolute insanity.
We'll have a new Friday the 13th parody song tonight.
Oh.
So, guys, if you're staying up late, if you're in the UK and you're waking up and just catching the end of this, stay up a little bit longer or start your morning right with Tony Stark over at the Stark Foundation. Check him out. The link is in the description, and it's going to auto send you guys over there as soon as it's done. Guys, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone who's been here tonight. Thank you everyone.
One more thing, Loki.
Yes.
Happy Friday the 13th. If you're going to watch a Friday the 13th movie, check out part 6, 7, 10. All great ones. Anyway.
There's a reason why.
No love for Jason 8, man.
There's a reason why I got married on Friday the 13th, y'all.
Yeah.
We're getting out of here. Take care. Be excellent to each
What
other.
about Manhattan? Would you rather the Muppets take Manhattan instead of Jason? How dare you?
God help me.
Good.
Of course, Culture jumps in late. Of course you do.
Is he in the back room? Please.
No, he's not. He says,
of course, Culture comes in at the
night.
very end.
Good night, Culture. Tuck and roll.
Good night, Culture. Tuck and roll.
Good
Tuck
night,
and roll.
Culture.
Tuck and roll, Pio. Tuck and roll.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.